Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics.
Welcome back, one and all. I'm Adam the Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at Word Rescue and its sequel, Math Rescue, a pair of edutainment platformers by Apogee Software. If you grew up between the mid-80s and the late 90s, there's a good chance that you played a fair number of educational titles during your childhood. Although I certainly enjoyed the much more popular Carmen Sandiego games, I also have very fond memory of these two titles. So now, how do they hold up as an adult? There's really only one way to find out. Before we get started though, what were some of your favorite edutainment titles as a child? Let me know in the comments down below, and then let's jump in. Released in 1992 and aimed at beginning readers, Word Rescue sought to expand the vocabulary of its players. As a shareware title, the first third of the game was free to redistribute, with additional levels, including new words and tile sets, being available via mail order as was common at the time. Taking on the role of a nameless boy or girl, you'll be tasked with stopping the evil Gruzzles, monsters that are stealing words wherever they find them because they're unable to read. To help you along your journey, Benny the Bookworm will aid you, dropping buckets of slime on the Gruzzles to stop them from attacking you. You'll need to be careful, however, as you have a limited supply of slime with which to attack the Gruzzles. If a Gruzzle touches you, or if you fall into a pit, you'll lose the level, with Benny swooping in to save you. But this is of little consequence, as you'll simply restart the stage and be allowed to try again indefinitely. But as much as we from the Double Dare generation may have loved the idea of dumping slime onto monsters, that's not particularly educational. So where does the wordplay come in? It exists in two flavors. Firstly, to complete each stage, you'll need to collect all the pictures within the stage. When you touch a question mark box, it will display a word, and you have to search around the stage to find the matching picture. Repeat the process 7 times, and Benny will give you a key to finish up the stage, although you might not want to rush straight to the exit. As aforementioned, your supply of slime is limited, and there are 3 ways to replenish it. First is to exit and restart the game. Simply restarting a level will not do such, which is quite the annoyance on hard mode. Second is to spell the hidden word. By collecting enough books that are hidden throughout the stage, a secret word will be revealed to you. It'll always be one of the words from the level's pictures. If you collect letters hidden throughout the stage in the correct order to spell the word, your slime will refill to maximum. Alternatively, every stage has some buckets of slime hidden throughout it, though these will only partially refill your reserves. Control-wise, the game is mostly fine, although getting used to the slopes and climbing can be a bit tricky, as jumping and climbing are both tied to the up arrow. This was before the days when ASDW was the standard. Presentation holds up pretty well, you can clearly tell what everything is, and there's a fair bit of variety in the art assets. On the other hand, sound effects are somewhat grating. I don't know if it's because I'm running it through DOSBox or if I just didn't care when I was a child, but the sound effects and music are annoying at best. I also do feel the need to briefly mention that there's a number of fake walls in the game. It'll look like they should block your progress, but you can walk right through them. There are many things I miss about 90s games, but this most certainly is not one of them. So how does it hold up? As a platformer, it's not terrible, but ultimately pretty forgettable. While it looks decent, it doesn't really do much exciting. If you're looking to just play a video game, there's much better ones out there. But that does bring us to the other big question: how is it as an education tool? Frankly, you can still do better than this. Now obviously, it was never intended as an all-ages title and isn't meant to help an adult expand their vocabulary. But even for children, does this really help? They either know the word or they don't. Sure, they can sound it out phonetically, but this requires them to already know how to do that, and it doesn't actually help with learning such. Also, I feel the need to question why a game aimed specifically at young children has them learning wine and gun as 2 of the words in question. All in all, I find Word Rescue to be worthy of a forgettable 6.3 out of 10. However, if you get to the end of the game, it leaves you with a hook for the sequel. The Gruzzles learn how to read, and as a result, seem to become peaceful for a little while, until they discover numbers and now start stealing those instead. This, of course, leads us to Math Rescue. Released only half a year later, Math Rescue nevertheless feels fairly different. The physics have been improved slightly, going up and down slopes is no longer as much of a pain. The graphics are more detailed, although enemies and characters are now a little smaller on the screen as a result. You'll still be able to call upon Benny to help you as before, though this time around, he's grown into a butterfly. Wait a minute, wasn't he a bookworm?
I am a caterpillar. Well, that is only half true. My mother was a caterpillar, my father was a worm, but I am okay with that now.
Gruzzles can now respawn if you walk off screen, but you'll have more slime to work with this time around. And on top of that, you can also collect trash can lids, which act as shields. Each one will allow you to take a hit without losing the level, but they still won't protect you from bottomless pits. But the educational angle is, of course, very different here. Instead of matching words to pictures, you'll have to collect a number of tiles. Whenever you touch one of them, you'll be given an arithmetic problem. Solve it correctly and you'll collect the tile. You'll gain bonus points if you collect all the tiles in ascending order from 0 to 9, but this really isn't necessary. Collect all the tiles in a level and you'll be able to move on as before. Along the way, you'll find that each level has a few dump trucks moving back and forth and another arithmetic problem at the bottom of the screen. Simply touch the correct truck and you'll get more points, and if there are any trucks left in the level, you'll be given a new problem. After each level, you'll have a chance to earn extra slime and trash lids by solving rapid-fire math problems. You have half a minute to do as many as you can. You can't lose, but if you get a problem wrong, you will lose valuable time, as it'll take about a second before it gives you the next one. As before, the game is divided into 3 parts, with the first being distributed as shareware. The other 2 parts once again add new levels with additional tile sets, new word problems, as well as allowing you to do multiplication and division problems, whereas the first part only allows for addition and subtraction. Although I must say, some of these word problems sound a little odd. Sure, there's nothing outlandish about a police officer writing fix-it tickets, but let's be honest, how many kids are going to care about that? But I guess that's still better than the one about lions eating people. Pretty gruesome for a children's game. So what about this one? I definitely feel it holds up better than Word Rescue. The minor issues I had with controls are no more, and while the game does maintain its use of fake walls, there's now usually some sort of indicator as to where they're hidden if you're observant. My only major complaint is that with 20 to 30 number tiles in each level, individual levels now feel like they can drag on a bit too long, especially if you're going out of your way to try and get all of the bonus points. On the educational side of things, the math angle works a bit better as players have to actually use their heads to solve them, rather than either already knowing what a word means or missing out on it entirely. It's still not particularly exciting as an adult, but it's a definite improvement. In conclusion, I find Math Rescue to be worthy a middling 6.8 out of 10. Once again, upon completing the game, you'll be given the hook for another sequel, Gruzzle Puzzles. However, so far as I can tell, this game was never completed nor released. Doing a search online, I did come across a company called Gruzzle that makes escape room style puzzles. However, when I reached out to them, while they were amused by the turn of events, they assured me that it was nothing more than a coincidence and they had no relation to either Apogee or either of the games in question. That being said, if you're interested in trying either Word Rescue or Math Rescue, they're available through Steam or the 3D Realms website. If you're interested in purchasing or learning more, links are included in the description. What about you? What do you think of Apogee's edutainment titles? Which educational games do you have nostalgia for? If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave it in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. If you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics! Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.